Hello everyone, Rushil here, and here we are with the overview of the story writing workshop that is going to be conducted from 1st to 31st of July via Zoom. So, yes, it's not going to be a physical workshop. You will have to log in online through a Zoom link that will be shared once you register for the workshop. So, in this video, I'll be providing a brief overview of what the workshop is going to be about and what are the things that we are going to be doing, and how are we going to go about things over the period that we have. So first of all, our workshop is going to be 4 times a week. It's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Like after Sunday, immediately it will be there on Monday, but after that it will be alternate days like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So this is how we are going to be going about the number of times the workshop that's going to be conducted. So it's going to be around 25.5 hours long, in taking in consideration of the fact that every session is going to be 1.5 hours long, but on an average I've considered it to be 25 hours long, considering the brief time gaps that we will be having in the middle. So yes, it's a 25-hour long course, for which we'll be having the entire month's time frame divided into multiple sessions, and these sessions are going to be quite descriptive, as the number of hours suggests. 25 hours is a big deal, and yes, everything is going to be in very depth. So what all are the things that you are going to be doing? So let's get to the very basics. So, initially, we'll be starting from the very base of a story, which is the imagination. What all are the factors of your imagination that can contribute to a story? What all are the factors of your imagination that can modify a particular story? Or, whenever you're looking at a story, your imagination can be such that you can write a story which is related to that particular thing. You can develop a premise in your mind while doing random things, and you can find stories out of random objects. So we will be doing certain activities from which you can find out some stories related to that, some plots related to that, and how can you go about the very core aspects of building a story. Second, so it's a common myth that many people think that if you are good in English, you will be good in story writing, you will be good in essay writing, and you will be good in drafting, which is not the case at all. You need to be good in English, definitely, but apart from that, along with that, rather, many other aspects exist to become a good story writer. It is basically analyzing different plots, analyzing different stories that make you a good story writer. So, like for example, the very small aspects, like what all are the characters, the number of characters, how many are the characters present in a particular story, that defines the complexity of a particular story. How much effort a writer would be required to put into a story depends on the number of characters involved, the various attributes and the various attitudes that the various characters have, the respective character sketches, they define the course of the story. So as a writer, you should be putting yourself in the shoes of the character that you will be portraying in a particular scene, or in a particular chapter, or in a particular scenario if you are writing a short story. So it's not like a story can be predefined in your mind. It's not like a character can be the reactions of a character can be predefined in your mind and you will go about that. That does not happen. A story has to be dynamic throughout the course. So many a times, due to this, what happens is, when the things that you imagine in your mind at the start of a story, they do not come true as you start writing. You believe that no, this thing should not happen this way, like the way that I thought of these things, and the way that they should have happened in my mind, they're not happening on paper. Why is that? That's mainly because the story is dynamic. It cannot be static at all. It cannot be that, okay, this is what's in my mind, this is what's going to be this is what's going to be happening from start to end, and I'm going to go about that. No, that does not happen. So for that, you need to be aware of what kind of characters you are dealing with. So this is again a very core aspect that we tend to lose out when we are writing stories. Okay, we define too many characters or we define too less characters. There's a huge importance of certain characters even though they are not your main characters. That's why we call them a supporting character. It's very important to build a tone, to build a premise of a story, and that's how you get readers' attention engrossed in a particular plot. Now, another aspect is that a plot as a whole you see is one. That's the crux that you call. A story can be based upon a particular thing. One is the a person on whom the entire story is circling. It's the pivot of the story. However, if a story is big enough, you can have many subplots into those. What is the use of these subplots? These subplots help you to define the main pivot along which the entire story is revolving. The subplots assist you in building a strong base into the reader's mind that other things happening around can influence the main aspect of what they are trying to portray, like the reader, what they are trying to portray in their mind. There are other subplots which you need to define, and the subplots make you a quality writer, because it would not mean that okay, there's one story in my mind, I want to see I want to show that xxxx is going to happen, and xyz is going to happen, and what's going to happen is I'm going to focus only on that plot. What happens is you define some characters, and those characters come in only for say one dialogue or one scene or something like that. But what happens is the reader, they get confused at times ki, okay, they go into dilemma. Okay, okay, what would have happened with the other character had this thing happened? So in order to eradicate that, what you should do is you should define subplots along with that characters. Okay, something is happening in that character's life as well. So yes, this another aspect of subplots is what is important when you're writing a story, and all these things tend to be ignored if you are a beginner writer, especially. If you are an amateur writer, then you are aware, but yeah, again, the execution, it all matters over that. How complex do you want to define everything to be? So these are other aspects which you need to focus on. Now, what all other things that we are going to cover in the course? So overview. First of all, first of all, developing the plot. Second, defining the characters. Third, how to write the outline of the story. Outline of the story is the most important when you're writing a short story. Outline of a story is very, 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 very important when you're writing a short story, because when you're writing a short story you need to have a preconceived notion of what you're going to portray, the moral of the story. You need to have the preconceived notion, so you have to go about the boundary of the story. And when you're writing a bigger one, you need to make sure that the particular chapters have a particular outline. That is the most important. We will see how these things are important in the workshop for sure. After that, character sketches, like I mentioned previously in this video. Character sketches, again, a very important and a very ignored aspect in story writing. Next, language. What sort of a language are you using? Are you using simple language? Are you using a difficult language? Or are you using a very, 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 very complicated words? And again, using only complicated words will drive away readers. It's like speaking gibberish. For those words to stand out, they need to be accompanied with simpler words. So again, we'll be learning how to do that again. Again, the pace of the story. If you're writing a short story, how much into detail you should go in, how much into description of the characters you should go in. If you're writing a longer story, how much you should define the characters, how much you should keep up with the pace of the events that are happening, how much detailing you should do. That is the most important. If you're writing a short crisp story, no detailing, like not minimum detailing, not like nothing you will detail. That's not the case. So if you're writing a longer story, you will go into more into depth. You will help the user, you will help the reader imagine what you're trying to portray. So again, the detailing aspect. A form of narration is again important. First person, second person, third person. Usually first person and third person is what is popular. So first person narration or third person narration, if you're beginning a story with first person narration, you have to make sure that you don't drift towards third person narration. Common mistake, a very common mistake, but again, we have to work on it. Experience what makes it easier. Tenses are what tend to be the driving aspects of mistakes in story writing. How do you stick to a particular tense, and whenever you're changing a particular tense, you need to make sure that you're changing it in a proper form. Past, say we are going into present. If you're going from past to present, what are the aspects that you need to keep in mind? Present to future, what are the aspects that you need to keep in mind? The transition should be smooth from between the tenses. So that's what helps you be a good orator also when you're speaking. And while writing, definitely it is something that you need to keep into mind. After that, imagination. Imagination is something that you need to be very flaunt about. You need to be flaunting about that. Like, you need to be very open about imagining things. Like, everybody imagines things. It's about how you express that. The way you channelize your thoughts and imaginations is going to define what kind of a story writer you are going to be, or what kind of a writer you're going to be, for that matter. So yes, these are the aspects that we are going to cover in this story writing workshop. And the ones who had their questions about the fees of this course, it's 1499 only. And the aspects that I said that I would be covering from start to end, like from the start of this video, I think they are self-explanatory to why this course has been um, charged with the fees of 1499. I think this is what, if the course is to be given justice, if the content is to be given justice, then yes, this fees is justifiable. So yeah, the people who are saying ki okay, this is kind of costly, but the kind of content that you are going to be covering, I think it defines the the fees that it's carrying. However, if you feel at the end of the course that no, I haven't had any kind of a value addition because due to this workshop, ki nahi, I didn't learn anything new. Everything was very monotonous. Everything was very normal. Then I guarantee that your money will be refunded back to your account, because I don't want any person who leaves unsatisfied, or any person who feels that no, I haven't had any sort of evaluation. So that would be a kind of a disrespect that I would be showing towards them by taking money. So if you feel that, if at the end of the workshop, honestly, if you feel that no value addition has been made, then I will have a talk with you. And if you feel that no, nothing new has been learnt through this workshop, then definitely you will get your money back. That is how things should be, logically. So yes, in the description of this video, I have attached my Instagram profile, my Facebook profile, and my LinkedIn profile. Also, I have attached a demo story that I have written. It's on the platform of Blogger. So I have attached the links of that, all of these, in the description. So please go through the description. And I've also attached my WhatsApp number for you to contact me. Please, 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 please register as soon as possible. We are starting from 1st of July, and I need maximum people to enter. And yeah, what you will be required to do is you will have to contact to me on WhatsApp, and I will share you the details of the brochure, and how you should go about the registration process. You'll have to fill a Google form, and then you'll have to attach the screenshot of the payment. So yes, hoping to see maximum people participating here. And like I said, if you don't enjoy this course, if you don't find it value adding, then yes, you will get your money back. So trust me with this one, and we'll talk on 31st of July. Yes, thanks a lot for watching this video till now. I hope to see you guys at the workshop. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Have a lovely day.